Look who Trump is going to start charging for food stamps. We've said it before at My Right America, and we'll say it again. Welfare fraud is a serious problem, but Trump's solution isn't something any of us have seen before. Keep in mind, the solutions for solving welfare fraud are pretty much limited to finding and rooting out the cheaters. Reforming the system as a whole is much, much harder, so hard, in fact, that no politician has solved it yet. But I'm willing to bet a businessman could, and Trump just put forward a genius solution. Charge retailers for accepting food stamps. It's not an expected solution, but it really works, MSN reported. The White House wants to charge retailers that accept food stamps. The Office of Management and Budget said the fee would be assessed when stores sign up and would require renewal after 5 years. The president's budget estimates that the fee would generate $2.4 billion in revenue over the next decade. An OMB official described the fee as modest and reasonable, emphasizing that some large retailers redeem $1 billion or more in food stamp benefits each year. This really is something genius. Think about it. Stores that accept food stamps make a ton of money off the federal government and ultimately the taxpayers. And if they're going to be making that money, shouldn't they be held responsible for making sure that every transaction is fair? And what better way to make sure that every transaction is fair than by charging stores for food stamp purchases? That way, freeloaders won't be allowed to buy booze and cigarettes with taxpayer funds. It's brilliant, businesslike, and common sense, which means that some liberals somewhere is going to protest it. And they did. The Food Marketing Institute said, "We oppose the flawed policy of imposing fees on food retailers in order to reduce the cost of the federal government's nutrition assistance benefits to the most needy in our society." I love everything about this. A lobbying group puts forth a vague and poorly worded sentence that says in a nutshell, "I don't like what Trump is doing," without, of course, explaining exactly what is wrong with Trump's proposal. Because, take note, no one can pinpoint any holes in this policy. All they can do is make vague statements about how bad it is. That's the last gap of a dying group of DC politicians, folks. Trump is changing DC. We should stand behind him. Let's take a quick listen here. President Trump wants to start charging stores.
President Trump wants to start charging stores for accepting food stamps as payment from the poor. The White House proposal to overhaul the U.S. food stamp program could wind up costing businesses billions of dollars, sparking outrage on both sides of the aisle. The Office of Management and Budget said the fee would be assessed when stores sign up and would require renewal after 5 years. While the amount would depend on the size and type of retailer, the president's budget estimates that the fee would generate $2.4 billion in revenue over the next decade. In addition to the new fee, the Trump administration is proposing $191 billion in cuts to the food stamp program, which would include tightening requirements for eligibility. Food stamps accounted for about 5.8% of the estimated $669 billion in annual sales at grocery stores, according to the Food Marketing Institute. The bottom line, Trump wants to charge stores for accepting food stamps.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you guys
Hey there, thanks for checking out.
think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.